Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. I am very excited today to be bringing you a video all about how to take a staycation at Walt Disney World. That's right, we are talking about resort-only stays and how now might be the best time for it. I've done them a lot, I love them, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how you can have a fabulous Walt Disney World vacation without ever setting foot in a theme park. And I'm really glad that you're here. So first of all, let me just say that I have been preparing for this video, researching this video for basically my entire life. When I was around 9 years old, my dad brought home a brochure from work that talked all about the amazing place that was Walt Disney World. Now, I had grown up going to California, so I knew all about Disneyland, but this whole Walt Disney World thing was next level. And you need to know, it was not the rides that had me excited. It was the pictures of people horseback riding and water skiing and being in the various pools and engaging with various recreational activities and the resorts. So yes, even as a child, I was more into the Disney World resorts than I was into the Disney World theme parks, and that has not changed.
Jen, that is insane. Who goes to Walt Disney World and doesn't go to the theme parks? Isn't the whole point of going that you're going to ride Flight of Passage and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Space Mountain and Big Thunder and Pirates and Haunted Mansion and all of the other amazing attractions?
Well, that's one way to do it, but some of you are already nodding along because you have embraced the world of Walt Disney World resort-only vacations. Now, as we know, during the time of the Great Unpleasantness, this has become something that you might get excited about for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it could be that you feel a little more comfortable and like things are a little more under control from a germ perspective in the resorts than they are in the theme parks. I am the first to admit, I fall into this camp. I just feel like thousands of guests riding rides, it is going to be more difficult to keep germs at bay than it is, say, in a more, controlled space like at a particular resort. And number two, you may be about ready to pull your hair out with the Walt Disney World reservation system. So even if you are going to the theme parks, it may be for less than you normally would. With the park hopper option not being there, you may be looking to scale back some of your park time. And honestly, the park hours themselves are greatly diminished. So by the way, if you're looking for all of the details about all of that, I want to recommend two resources to you. One is my friend Shannon Alpert, who is WDW Prep School, and the other is Touring Plans. Both have abundant resources available. I will put the description to all of their info in the box below. I am not going to go into a whole bunch of details right now. Number one, because I haven't really followed it that closely. And number two, because it's just not really something I need to duplicate when so many other great people are doing such a great job of bringing you that information. But what I want to focus on today is what in the world does a resort stay even look like, and why would you want to do that? So when you think about the Walt Disney World Resort, of course, most people, especially if they've never been, you're going to immediately think about theme parks and rides. And I just want to help you expand your brain a little bit about what it actually can feel like to experience a Disney World vacation without any of those things. Those of us that are Disney Vacation Club members, or at least a lot of us, know all too well the joys of the resort-only stay. In fact, when we first purchased Disney Vacation Club, we had just come through a time of economic insecurity that was over a decade long. My husband worked for the airlines. He had been furloughed. Money had been very, very scarce for us for a very long time. And one of the reasons I wanted to purchase DVC is I wanted to know that even if we were having a difficult time financially, we had already prepaid for our vacations. So that week-long trip was going to happen no matter what, year after year, even if we could not afford theme park tickets. And we've actually done that. Theme park tickets for a family of 5 like ours can run you well over $1,000, if not much more, depending on the length of your trip. And so there were years where we just couldn't afford the park tickets, but guess what? Our Disney Vacation Club week was already paid for, so we were going to Walt Disney World. And when I tell you guys that I consider Disney my lake house, I am serious. It is where we go as a family to decompress. It is where Scott and I frequently go as a couple to spend time together. It's where I will go at times by myself to either spend time with friends or just spend time with myself. And there is so much more to offer than just the theme parks. So if you want to do a staycation, I have for you some tips today that I really think will help. Now, I call it a staycation because since we're DVC members, it really is our home. It's our home away from home. And the things that you're going to want to consider if you're trying to pick a resort or a place to stay for a staycation are things like what restaurants and transportation options are there? So do they have great restaurants on the property themselves, or can I easily get to something like Disney Springs in order to take advantage of the shopping and dining that's there? What other recreational opportunities do they have available? At our home resort, Old Key West, we have got swimming, of course. We have got tennis. We've got sand volleyball. We've got the community hall if you have little ones where they can do crafts and all kinds of things with the cast members. We've got Surrey bikes that you can rent. We've got extensive walking trails. You name it, you can do it at Old Key West. In fact, I have frequently compared Old Key West to kind of like going on a cruise that doesn't really go anywhere because of all of the wonderful amenities that are right there at the resort. You also want to pick some theming that'll be really magical for you and your kids. And by the way, speaking of kids, children of a certain age, how many times have you paid thousands of dollars for a vacation and all they want to do is hang out at the hotel pool? So this is a way to make their wildest dreams come true. And I promise you, if your child is 2, 4, 7 years old, they will probably be quite happy to hear that they can have unlimited time at the pool, unlimited time running around the resort, maybe doing the various activities, and just spending time with you guys. Sometimes I think we think that our children need all of these activities all the time, when really they just want you to slow down as a family and spend time together. Okay, so huge benefit. So you're going to want to pick your resort really, really well. Another thing you may want to consider if you're doing a staycation is renting a car. Now, we are planning on renting a car for our next couple of trips just because of, again, with the great unpleasantness, and I feel more comfortable knowing that we have our own vehicle. But that also gives you the opportunity to explore some other things around Orlando because there are lots of things to do that are not going to the Walt Disney World theme parks. You have tons of free activities. There are whole websites devoted to the things to do in Orlando that are not Disney. Now, if you're in a Disney Vacation Club villa, obviously this makes this even easier because you can cook in your villa. If you're in a 1-bedroom or larger, you have a full-size refrigerator, you have a washer and dryer, you have access to, we usually stay in a 2-bedroom, so we have a whole family room where we can hang out, we can watch movies. My husband and I can enjoy, I'll have an adult beverage in the evenings, all of those things. You always have an outdoor area, a balcony or a patio where you can hang out. And you really just get that feeling of going to a mountain cabin or going to a lake house and having that time together as a family. And who doesn't want that? So as you decide to pick your resort, really consider your family and their needs. If you have a really active family, I would pick a place like Fort Wilderness. I have a friend, Jess, right now, who they got changed from Caribbean Beach to Fort Wilderness because of the great unpleasantness. And she's been asking me a ton of questions. Let me tell you right now, if you take your family to the fort, you do not need a theme park because there is so much to do. Everything from kayaking to, again, of course, they have tennis and the pool and the biking trails. I was like, you better be taking your kids' bikes. This is a true cabin. You know what it feels like to me? It almost feels like family camp. If you ever went to family camp when you were growing up, it definitely has its just own personality. And the one thing I will say every time we've stayed at Fort Wilderness is there is never enough time to take advantage of all there is to do there. And if you don't get some bread pudding and sit on the porch and eat it with a vat of bread pudding on your lap, then I'm sorry, you haven't fully lived. It's a very different time in Walt Disney World, and with the reservation systems, all of us are going a little crazy with how to make reservations, how to plan a trip. But I would just like to propose that you could actually just let all that go, especially if you're concerned about not being in a theme park, and consider a Walt Disney World vacation with no theme parks whatsoever. The Walt Disney World staycation. I think it's brilliant. Thanks for being here. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do so. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you were here for the premiere, I so appreciate you coming, and I'll see you next time. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're being good to each other. Bye.